Is that loud on your side?
No? Sounds normal.
I think it's because my ears are blown out from the concert.
All right.
All right, everybody's live. Hey guys, I'm Bill,
And I'm Lauren.
and we're from Pawfinity, and this is our podcast, Breaking
Scratching
Benjamin.
the
What am I saying?
surface?
Scratching the Surface podcast. Yeah, I don't know what we're breaking. We got some nice little decorations in the background for you guys to liven up the holiday spirit.
Yeah, so today's episode is...
Well, before we get there, let's talk about anything else that's going on with Pawfinity to jump right in. The let's see here. What do we have going on?
We did release an update.
Yeah, there's been a few minor updates coming out with some patches and streamlining some things. Yeah. So making subscriptions even better than they were before.
New little feature for online booking.
Yep. Improvements there as well. So for any of our pet pros that happen to watch this, actually you can join us in about an hour on our webinar where we're going to talk about that stuff in detail. So that's going to be live. It'll be via Zoom. Real life 3-dimensional backgrounds and all are included free. So hit it off here. What are we talking about this week?
Yeah, so this week is the survival guide to the holiday season. We all know that we are now in the busy holiday season and things, they get hectic. They get stressful.
What happens if they're not hectic and stressful right now? And they're not busy.
Well, then that's great, and you're following all of our tips.
No, well, if it's not so busy yet, I think that jump out and do your marketing really quick. If you're not yet ramping up, if you don't see it getting busier, then they're likely going somewhere else. So you might be able to sneak in there and grab a few clients.
Absolutely.
One of the office phones is ringing and it's getting picked up on here. But we're going to jump into this holiday survival guide for the pet service businesses. And item number 1 on the list is going to be to know your limits. And as Lauren comes back over to join me over here, we'll get this back up and running. But one of the important things is to stick to a manageable schedule. It's really enticing, I think, to get excited about the holidays. Oh my God, there's so many appointments.
Yeah, so many new leads coming in, so many people wanting appointments, but you don't want to go over what you can handle.
Yeah, if you can only do 5 dogs a day and you don't do anything to expand, then you have to stick with your 5. That's
absolutely
just, that just goes with what it is. But I know everybody gets excited. So in retail, we used to, during the holiday seasons, there's 2 real major ones. You have back to school and you have, the holidays, Christmas and Hanukkah and all the other stuff. And employees would get so excited, like when they would work off commission, they'd be trying to take on 10 clients all at once. And I'd see hoarding happening. Like they would actually hoard the clients to themselves, and you can't do that. And so, eventually I had to implement a thing where each person took their own. But what I'm starting to say is people get excited that it's busy and they try to do as much as they can, but you can only do so much.
Yep, exactly. You can only service so many clients. So if you, like you said, typically do 5 dogs a day, and then all of a sudden you're pushing it to 8 dogs a day, but you're not extending your hours or hiring extra help, which we'll talk about. The people are getting less service.
Right, and you don't want to do that. So avoid extending those hours also if it's going to wear you out.
Absolutely, yes.
Right.
Because that leads to burnout, and we all know burnout is not fun.
No, and we do have 10 full items on here, I'll remind you, Lauren, so we're going to have to keep this one rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah, so the other one here we have...
An overly full schedule will make you, it'll create a stressful situation. So you'll want to make sure that you make certain accommodations if you do extend your hours, which we'll provide some tips below.
Okay, so number 2, leverage technology to amplify your efforts. This is a really cool thing. And sometimes I don't understand why people don't get more excited about using technology in the business when it's available to you, especially our users. You guys have a lot of tools that can help get more work done with less effort. And it's not just ours. There are plenty of other software systems out there that do this, and just lean against that technology.
Yeah, so all those calls that you get, hey, do you have an opening? Use online booking. They'll see there is no opening. You can have content up there. There's no openings until January.
Right.
Get on our wait list.
Yeah, they might still call you if they see that there's nothing available because they think they're going to sneak in. And so, if you're busy... if you have reception, then you obviously you leverage them.
Story.
Let them handle the volume of calls that are coming in. If you don't, and you are booked all the way out, while I don't normally recommend this, I don't think necessarily going to the phones to answer it every single time it rings over the holiday season is a great use of your time. So you may, if you are booked all the way out, maybe put a more pleasant voicemail on there and say, hey, look, we're
Yes.
booked all the way out. Next year, book it earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
Exactly.
a little bit of a motivation factor for the people to get on there and book before the holiday season actually starts.
Yeah, you can notify them on your website, your online booking, social media, anything like that.
Okay, so we're moving on. Number 3. I love this one. Hire and train seasonal staff because it's actually a fun thing to do. People get very excited about their seasonal jobs.
Yeah, and then they are just temporary, so you don't
Sometimes.
them. Yeah.
Unless they're really
unless
amazing.
they're really good, then you keep them in.
Yeah.
But if you just need a few extra helping hands, I mean, you can hire like a high school student to come in on the weekends and answer those phones.
College is great.
Yes.
Because they get off, they're on break,
Yeah.
and they like to come in.
And make some money. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would have all kinds of college kids coming in. When I worked for one of the bigger global fashion companies, we would bring on like 20 people in the holiday season or more. And it was always exciting because if there were a few standouts that were actually living locally in there, I would just bring them on to the staff and put them on the schedule.
Yeah.
But it gives you an opportunity to kind of shop employees and see how they're doing. You might have someone that stopped. Let's say if we're talking about grooming, they might have stopped grooming because they had a baby or life changes or whatever, or they just moved there. And this would give you an opportunity to test them out in real time and see what they can do.
Absolutely, and then
That's
keep them
exciting.
after.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I mean, if they suck, then
Yeah.
just
And the seasonal help, and that's it.
the season's over. Marge, the season's over. We don't need you anymore. But you might have a month left. Which, if she's not doing the job, I mean, just.
But yeah, I mean, it helps. Bather, daycare assistant, really anything you can hire. Just a helping hand, even if
sure.
it's someone to just clean up around because you're taking more dogs on. You need that extra help.
Yeah, and make it beneficial for them as well. I mean, they might be saving your hiney, so if you have to pay them more than you would normally, that's to be expected. So weekly and daily meetings aren't just for the big box chains and the big like corporate retail companies. Sit down with your employees. They used to, what did they call it? A 15-minute meeting or a 5-minute
Like a powwow right before
5-minute
the
meeting.
shift.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you'd get in as an owner, as a manager. Your job is to make sure your employees are in the right mindset for whatever's about to happen and
Get them riled up
Yeah.
about their shift.
Exactly. I mean, and this
makes
is
a difference.
It's real. This is
Yeah.
real because I would pull the gate or close the doors depending on where we were, and get all the employees like huddled up. We'd start talking about everybody's like concerns about what we're going to do. Do they know where they're going to be? What's happening? Open the doors and people start, flying in and stuff.
Your employees are pumped up because
Everybody's excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's a great
that's
thing.
a real thing.
It is,
So and unfortunately, a lot of our small businesses haven't had that experience, that opportunity to be a part of a larger group like that, and not obviously not everyone. Some people have had that opportunity, but it is more rare. And so when you're a part of that little ramp up and you're getting excited, your seasonal
gets you
staff,
pumped.
yeah, it really does, and it gets everybody on the same track.
Yes.
Employee number 1, 2, you guys are going to be there. You're going to be bathing. You're going to be, if it's a training environment, those are going to be the people that are taking each one of the new arrivals in, because you might have like a big group train for the holiday season.
Yes.
Like, I think that's a great idea for trainers. I think like that would be great. Like a last minute behavioral thing before your family all starts showing up
Yeah,
and your dog
actually,
is
yeah.
jumping all over them.
That's a great idea.
Trying to sniff up their pants while they're sitting down for
That's
a
a
Thanksgiving
great
dinner or
idea.
something. I mean, that's what happens. So just direct your staff.
Yeah, so we'll jump into the next one. Maximize your days off. Now, this one is so important. It's easy to try to work on your days off, but don't. Leave the work there. Enjoy your day off. Take it as a personal day. This is a good time to reset.
Well, because you have a lot of other stuff to do as well. I mean,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
talk real. I don't remember when the last day off as an adult happened for me. Because I mean, it's
There
like
isn't.
you picture a day off, like let's just say in like high school or something. Like you have it's
Where
a
you have
weekend.
nothing to do.
You literally wake up whenever you want, and then you literally just like you could sit there, just
Yeah.
wake up, turn on the TV, and fall back asleep again.
Yeah,
There's
well, as
nothing
adults,
to do.
we don't get that
Just
luxury.
no. It's like your day off. It's like, okay, I gotta go to the bank. I gotta go to the
Yes.
grocery store. I gotta go. And the laundry's stacking
Keeps
up,
the
and it's all
laundry,
over the place.
that's-
It's like, okay, my day off looks more like I'm Cinderella.
Yeah, but you don't want to stack
Do I
your
have? Where's my magic?
business work
No.
on that too.
Where's my magic?
So,
Oh,
right there.
I feel like I'm Cinderella on my day off. There we
You
go.
don't want to stack your business work on that too. So leave the business work for the business
Right.
days.
Absolutely. That's the most important part to take away from that one there. So
Yep.
preparing for your next day. This is one of the things that everyone on the planet is guilty of. If you're not guilty of it, then you're a way better person than
Because
I
I know
am.
I do this all the time.
Yeah. So prepare for the next day at the end of your shift.
Yeah, so it's the end of the day. You've worked so hard. There are a few things that need to be done. You're like, oh, I'll just save them for tomorrow.
I do this with the dishes.
Don't do that.
There's always somehow there's one dish that's left, and it's like my brain doesn't see it. Like my brain tells my eyeballs, or vice versa, or whatever, that it doesn't see that last one for some reason. That last one,
it's just invisible.
It just doesn't happen. And so it's like I think we do that as people. It's like you just worked all day and you were very busy, and then you see
the trash bag full,
and it's just like your brain just says, "I don't see that."
Yeah.
And then you walk out the door, but the problem is your brain will see it in the morning when you show up.
Exactly. So take the extra 15
Your eyes,
minutes and
however.
just
I mean, your brain, without your brain, the eyeballs don't do anything.
That's
It's just
true.
like two little things.
Take the extra 15 minutes and just do it at the end of the day. That way, when you wake up and you come in the next morning, you don't have a long to-do list. You can go and tackle your day.
Right. You can have that 5-minute meeting, get your employees up to speed. If it's just you, have a 5-minute meeting by yourself.
But
Okay.
yes, take a break
Guilty.
before it all comes in.
With the trade shows, anybody that's ever come to the trade show early has probably seen me do this. I'll be dressed up in my suit and everything else. I'll be by myself there at the booth in the morning usually. And I'll start jamming out to music. I'll start getting myself riled up. I'll be like, yeah, we're going to get some cool people here. We're going to see some of our clients here, get to interact. I get excited about it and I get riled up. And you say, okay, well, that's different from what I do. I'm grooming dogs. That's not at all different. I'm literally standing in a booth, like a 10 by 10 booth, and talking to people. That's definitely, your job. You get to meet the clients. It's the same exact thing if we weigh it there. A lot of our clients' shops are smaller, so they're going to be in their own little space, but that doesn't mean you can't get excited about it. The holiday season for me in business, I get excited for you guys. Like this is one of our slowest seasons on this end of things. So I just get excited about thinking how busy you are making all the money, and it's just like, yeah, let's go, let's see what they can do this year.
Appointments come in and stuff, reservations, absolutely.
Yeah, so get excited about it. I mean, that's going to be. We'll talk about that. That's our number 10. I'm just going to skip to the bottom, but that's our number 10. But
so this next one sounds so simple, but eat and drink your liquids. Have your breakfast in the morning, and this is super important. Sit down and have at least 15-minute lunch. Sit down.
Yeah.
That's the important
Yeah.
part there, because you get to sit and reset and just take a break. If you're rush through the whole day, and if you don't eat, you're inevitably going to get tired. You're going to get stressed. It's going to cause, I know me.
This is a very mom
grouchiness for
topic
me.
on this one. I like this. This is, the hangries kick in. Oh, yeah, the hangries kick in bad.
It's important. And then drink your water.
All you need is
so-
to not drink and stuff, don't rest, don't eat lunch, and then have a dog trying to nip at you.
Yeah,
and then the next thing you know, where's that one? Yeah. And that's not good. We don't want that for you guys or the dog for that
Exactly.
matter.
We're not talking about an hour-long lunch break, because in reality, we might not have the time for that, but 15 minutes, just
Right.
sit down.
And if you're
Take
me,
15
that would be
minutes.
like 5 minutes eating and 10 minutes sleeping, and then get right back to it because
And then that goes actually into our next one. Get your sleep. So it's really important to get a good night of sleep. Again, it sounds so much easier said than done.
well,
but
it sounds really interesting to stay up until like 1 o'clock in the morning drinking whiskey because you had a rough day.
might
But
not
save
win-
that for the weekend or your day off.
Exactly. Save that for when you're going to be off.
Because you
the
try to
next
wake up
day.
that next morning, it's not working out so well, and you just set your whole week off.
But yeah, if you always feel so good when you're rested. So, good 6 to 8 hours of sleep, whatever your body needs. And you'll feel better when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I think sleep is overrated, but you definitely need it. You can.
He's the opposite.
Listen,
I need like 8 hours.
He's
like 5 hours.
Nobody
in bed.
needs 8 hours of sleep, guys. I'm sorry to tell you. People say they don't have enough time in the day. That's because you sleep too much. Wake up.
I need 8 hours.
I think I lived like 6 years. It might have been more than that. I think it was 6 or 7 years on like 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, and that's how Pawfinity got built. It's because I didn't sleep. I just charged through it. So it just depends on how bad you want it. If you guys want to have a huge year, sleep less and do more.
I would be very grouchy if I slept less.
Yeah, well, sometimes you get used to it though. Okay.
Our clients would not appreciate me.
So quite literally, you can exist completely fine on 6 hours of sleep every night. But that's 2 hours you gained of your life every single day. We could do some math on that. But that's, what is that? 720, 730. What am I really geeking out that bad? That's a lot. That's 2 hours a day times 365 days. Yeah, so 730 hours,
yeah.
give or take. depending on a leap year or whatever, that you get. That's a lot. That's a lot. 2 hours a
I'll
day.
take the sleep.
Oh my Lord.
We don't have to agree on
Yeah,
this
but
one.
that's like an extra couple of days. That's like a week.
It is
you
a
get.
lot extra time.
Did I
Yep.
skip one here? Okay, no. Let's look at number 8. Order your inventory and supplies now. If you haven't done it, holy moly.
Like now. So, and I'm not talking
COVID.
about like, oh, we're almost out. We'll be fine. We'll order in a few weeks. No, make
No.
sure that your inventory is stocked up for the entire holiday season.
Yeah, don't buy too much retail items. I'd be a little bit cautious about unless you know that they're going to sell.
The things that you use every day is
Your supplies are important, of course. Yeah, you have to have that.
Shampoos, conditioners.
Any extra stuff, though, I mean, you can bundle up packages that people can give as gifts. I mean, that's one way.
Ooh, yeah.
If you're a trainer, it's always nice to sell like gift certificates. But I mean, something more fun for your client might be like a cool like a sensory toy package or something. I don't know. I don't want to name any names, but the Kong toys and those ones that you drop and they bounce all over the place, those kind of things. Those are cool and people like them. And so it might be fun. You can tie it to something about training, about training. This ball does all this stuff.
Yeah.
Throw a little business card inside there, and then just sell it to your existing clients, have them give it as like gifts or something.
Exactly.
But inventory items, all this stuff is slow to come by. Thank you, COVID. It seems like we're never getting out of that. The supply chain is permanently broken at this point.
That's what it seems like.
If it used to take a week, order it 2 months.
Yeah, so order it ahead of time. And same thing with your clippers and your shears and stuff like that. Make sure you have backups. So if you do happen to, let's say, drop a 30 on the floor, you have another one as a backup and you're not going to be behind waiting for it to come in.
Oh, yeah. So that would be a bad one to drop, no less. If that thing gets misaligned,
wouldn't be good.
Yeah, the pet's not going to appreciate that.
So number 9, lean on your staff. So this one is really important. As managers and owners,
lean on me.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm going to try to get a YouTube career singing on the microphone. When you're not strong,
I won't be your backup singer. I'm sorry. Believe me, you guys don't want to hear me be the backup singer.
I'm going to give myself an applause for that performance because it was that good. Yes, a round.
But we feel like we want to do everything. We're like, oh, I'll do it. I'll do that.
I don't feel that way.
Don't do that.
You do.
I do. Yeah, I do this all the time. But allocate things to other staff members. Maybe give each employee one extra task to do. Now you're spreading those tasks out through your employees, and it makes it easier for everyone. Less stress for you. They get to do a little bit extra, and I mean, maybe throw them a little bit of a nicer Christmas bonus because of that.
I don't think so.
Something.
If it's within their
if it's within their scope of like what they're supposed to do, no. But if it's
I'm not trying to pull a Mr. Grinch or anything like that. But no, if it's within their scope of work, you don't pay them anymore for doing it ever.
But
if they go outside of their work and do something
yes.
extra, especially if you didn't have to ask them to. Then yes.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're rewarding them in a way that says, hey, look, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. So I'm going to give you a bonus for that.
Extra hard that holiday season. It was extra busy.
Yes.
Everyone worked hard.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I mean, you could throw like even a nice pizza party. A nice
yes,
lunch of
okay.
pizza party
I'm all for morale boosting things. Yes,
things
without
like
question.
That. So it doesn't always have to be cash.
Oh,
just like
we didn't
something
speak about
a little
that.
extra.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
What?
Yes. So all of these things, yes, this was a great point because I forgot that I even used to do this. Your staff is busy and you want to take breaks and you want to do lunches but you also need to get the stuff done and everybody's like freaking out. A pizza party or you order, I don't know.
Breakfast donuts.
Donuts.
Bring them a nice box
Watch
of
out with the
donuts in
sugar
the
though. No, if you start getting too crazy with sugar or caffeine, they're gonna
at
some point in the
when I was
day.
a manager at a restaurant, I used to on Saturday mornings.
Donuts that's hard.
I used to bring in a box of donuts, and my staff loved it. So.
Yeah, well, they'll start working a lot real quick,
yes,
and then
they're
gonna
burn. Crash.
But yeah, no. If you do something like that for them, order subs, order pizzas, order a hummus bundle. If you're in California, I don't know.
I like hummus, so I would be great if that was a.
What is that? What is it?
I don't
I'm
actually
gonna look
know
up what that is.
what it's made of, but it's and they have so many different flavors, and you mix it with nice crackers.
Oh, that sounds.
But
what?
Yeah, anything like that. Some sort of
hummus.
like he said, morale
boosting.
boosting.
English is your native language. All right, let's see here. I'm going to share this with everybody. Let's see. Just in case, for those of you that don't know, like I don't, but I've eaten some of it. but I don't actually know what this is. So hummus is a Middle Eastern dip.
Chickpeas.
Yeah, so
Okay.
just savory mashed chickpeas blended with
I like them.
tahini, lemon juice, and garlic. The standard garnish in the Middle East includes olive oil and a few whole chickpeas, parsley, and paprika. Just in case you guys ever wanted to know what it
Ooh, or with
looked
the
like.
flatbread. Yeah.
See, I'm not a fan.
Anything like that would be great for
If
your
you guys brought me
employees.
hummus, I think I would work less because I would be frustrated that you weren't thinking of me.
Now I know what he's not getting
You
for
didn't.
Christmas.
Well, you didn't include me. We're in the days of inclusion. Everybody's supposed to be considered. But in the end, because I know we're making this. This is supposed to be a fun episode, guys. We're
Just
making it
have
light,
fun, yeah.
and that's the whole point. Enjoy what you're doing. There's nothing else about it. As I had mentioned before, there's two ways to think about it. Number one, you could get like inundated and oh god, the weight of the world it's got.
But you have to remember, it's just a season. It will pass.
But it's when you're making the most money. If you're busy as a small business owner, this is like words to live by. What was that on Van Wilder? Write that down. You didn't watch that. Anyway, write this down. So, as a small business owner, when you're busy, it means that you're in business, and that's the best thing that you could have. I mean, if you're not busy, then you're going out of business, and that's not good. So, when
Enjoy it,
like relish in this, celebrate the busyness, and find a way to enjoy it. You have people. I mean, we get so busy here because when you guys get bored, we're busy then. So we get a lot of tech support coming through and all kinds of stuff. So, but that means that you're interacting with the software. That means you're generally doing things with our business, and that's great. So, do the same thing with your business. Busyness, it's good.
Yeah. It's just a season. It will pass. It will go by fast, especially if you're busy each day. Those days are going to fly by. So, just follow these tips and it is literally a survival guide. You will get through it.
Yeah, you'll get through it. If you don't, well, then you don't have to worry about what we said. No, I'm just messing around. I'm just messing with you guys. But yeah, anyway, I felt like I had one more little tidbit, one more little morsel of wisdom to spread.
Yeah, I don't
think
this
so either.
All that I had.
Yeah, enjoy your work, and that's about it. So, guys, so our Puffinity users hop on the webinar. It's private, so
you'll find the link in your dashboard.
Yeah. There'll be a little news brief with a link, and it's on the webinar page as well. So, everybody else, you should be on our system using it anyway. So, when you do join, come on over, check out the webinar. We talk about all sorts of actual details in the software. It's more specific to usage and stuff like that. So, have a great day, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern.
10 a.m. Eastern time. Oh, and don't forget to adjust your clocks because it's daylight savings, at least in the U.S.
That was a few days ago.
Was it? I thought that was yesterday.
That was Sunday night or Saturday night.
I don't keep track of these things. What are you talking about?